Let us explore the intersection between meditation and the perception of the yang characteristic in our fellow humans. We do not do this to be self-righteous or to be cowardly. We do this because good old, what was his name? Carl Gustav Jung reminded us that the way that we overcome our shadow self is by being aware of our shadow self. And since we as individuals are but miniaturizations of the universe around us, it can give us greater insight into how people relate to each other, both as individuals and as political movements and as nations, by observing the interplay of yang and yin. So whenever we see someone trying to manipulate themselves, through motivation or getting leverage on themselves or guilting themselves, that is an example of yang. Whenever we observe someone trying to manipulate or coerce or persuade another, that is yang. Whenever we see people acting in a very uptight, rigid way, or acting in a very fearful way, or an angry way, or a greedy way, that is yang. It helps to make sense of commerce. It helps to make sense of politics. When businessmen who clearly love their children and their grandchildren happily allow their manufacturing concerns to poison the countryside in the name of more money, for greed of money or for fear of losing their job, what we see is yang in motion. When we see politicians who have behaving as if they were in the metaphoric financial pocket of industrial concerns, poo-pooing climate change or postponing it into the distant future, acting as if utterly deaf to the warnings of more than 98% of climate scientists worldwide. That is an example of yang. When we see politicians attempting, either through policy or through the use of troops or the use of police or the use of legislation, when we see politicians who embrace or whose donors embrace unpopular ideas, do their very best to prevent other people from voting, that is seeing yang in action. Whenever we see people in the society or the cafes around us, perhaps conversing, if we see someone trying to manipulate another through perhaps silence or scowling or tears or a manipulative speech, that is yang in action. So we do not do this to despair. We do not do this to feel superior, but by recognizing patterns, we can liberate ourselves from needless confusion. Got a question? Leave it in the commentary below. My name is Lama Jigme Gyatso, and this is the Buddha Joy Meditation School.